So, nerds, how's it going? Oh, it disappeared. 1 second, let me fix that. I swear to fucking God, it was working earlier. I swear, I got it working. I fixed it, alright? I finally found the fucking problem with Air Server and all of my fucking Apple iOS project. I hate Apple. I fucking hate Apple, and I'm not afraid to say it. It's so stupid, it never works right, and it breaks randomly, and the reason it broke is so stupid I don't even know how it happened. So I have a Windows computer, and I am using this Windows computer to mirror my iPad. That is how you guys can see what I'm drawing whenever I draw, yeah? And to do that, you have to have a library from Apple installed. That way it can process things like what I use to stream my iPad, which is the screen mirroring. It's the same thing that Apple TVs use and stuff like that. I think it's called AirPlay. It uninstalled itself. I shit you not. And I found this out because last week, I don't know who all had a chance to stop by, I was doing a collab with Daishima over on his channel. He was making tacos and torturing me by making me watch. It was a lot of fun though. He does that with a lot of different people. I definitely recommend you check it out. It was very funny. But we spent like 45 minutes before the stream just trying to figure out what the fuck was happening, because I was trying to use my avatar, my big avatar, my big fancy Live 2D, and it wasn't working. My computer wasn't detecting the iPhone I used to capture my movements. And I was just like, this is bullshit. All of this was working not that long ago. I don't know what's happening. And I dug into it. I watched like 15 different YouTube tutorials at like 2 times speed, like skipping through them. And one of them mentioned like some software you had to have installed. I'm like, I should have this installed. Like, should be there, but I'm gonna go double check. And it wasn't there. And I had to go fucking reinstall it, and then suddenly everything's working again. It's just like, what the fuck? What happened here to cause this to get uninstalled? This should have never gotten uninstalled. That's stupid. But it's working now. And that's all that matters to me. I'm not using my Live 2D today because whenever I'm drawing, I am always like looking down, and I'm not like emoting that much anyways. And it can't capture my facial expressions. I dropped my pen. No, where'd it go? Oh, did it go in the trash bag? Oh, please don't go in the trash bag. I don't want to dig in there. Oh no, where did it go? I need that. Oh no, it straight up vanished. 1 second, I have to dig under my desk. Because I'm dumb. Where did it go? It's gone. What? Ow. I found it. It did go into the trash bag. Oh my lord. Anyways, I'm just glad to fix the problem. And I've been trying to start this animatic. It has consumed my waking hours, the idea for it, but, actually working on it has been... yeah. I may have been distracted by dolls and sewing and learning watercolor and Terraria and Guild Wars and everything else under the sun. But we're gonna work on it today because this is the next animatic. I had the idea for a while. I was planning to do a different song actually. I had 2 songs I was planning to do. I even put a poll up on Tumblr. And then I saw somebody else's animation for something with a completely different song. I was like, oh no, oh no. The brain cell has activated and I cannot escape anymore. And then in like 2 days, I had the entire fucking, sketches done, which never happens. Whenever I do an animatic, I usually have about like 75% of the sketches done, and then I start on the line art. I have like 95% of them done. It's kind of insane. Usually I'll start halfway. I'll get half of the animatic like in a place where it's just like, okay, I can read through these sketches and get that half ready and then figure out the other half as I go. I didn't have to do that this time. Which goes to show how clear of an image in my head I had of this, which is pretty fucking neat. There's gonna be changes and stuff still, like, even this frame is different from the initial sketch, but, like, that's fine, that always happens. It's about getting it to a starting place, and I think the background is done. I'm just doing lines. Hi, Daishima, I just started. I was complaining about Apple and the technical issues we dealt with during your stream. Oh my god, I'm so mad. That's what broke everything. It was the same thing that broke the thing I used to mirror my iPad that was breaking Live 2D. It's all bullshit. We did get it working. I'm just being lazy and not using my Live 2D. I like being a hat, honestly. For Halloween, I should be someone else's hat. I mean, my iPad was working fine. It was never the iPad that was the fucking problem. It was, the issue with Live 2D was the software that you have to have from Apple, the like library or whatever, uninstalled itself on my computer somehow. I have a couple suspects on why that happened. Number one, sometimes I'm stupid, and I'm like, what the fuck does this do? And I uninstall it, and it turns out I needed that. That's a possibility, but I don't think that's what happened. The other possibility is I had a software called CC Cleaner, to occasionally clean out files and fix things. But I think I have a strong suspicion it may have been deleting more things than it should have been. And yeah, no, exactly. Like, your cooking stream is like you're doing things, but I'm talking. Like, it's a just chatting stream on my end, so it made total sense to have the full model. And when I'm playing games now that I've got all my stuff sorted again, I'll probably use it more. I'm not sure if people have interest in Terraria, but I might do Skyblock Terraria, which I've been doing it like in my own time, and it is a wild ride to do Skyblock in Terraria. Or I might do something else, but my heart tells me I want to play Guild Wars on the stream, but I don't think anyone's really interested in that, and that's okay. Maybe someday I'll play Guild Wars on the stream. I finally got a legendary in Guild Wars. I'm very excited. It's probably the most useless legendary for me to have made for my my character build. If anyone's familiar with Guild Wars 2, I play a thief 90% of the time. Which is a sort of mid-range DPS. Most of what I'm doing is just DPS. And in Guild Wars, a good portion of your build is what weapons that you pick to use. And different classes get different weapons, and with each expansion of Guild Wars, every class gets a new specialization. The main specialization I play is Daredevil, which means I bounce all over the place and I bonk people with a staff. It has a lot of mobility to it, but it doesn't have any range, it's only melee. So for range, you are supposed to use either a short bow or a short bow for mobility, or a pistol for ranged. I use a short bow, and there's a short bow in Guild Wars called the Dreamer, and it shoots unicorns, and it leaves rainbow prints behind you, and I think it's the funniest fucking thing. See, Guild Wars is a rare MMO where like, they have a lot of things that just completely break immersion that you can just get. And people get really annoyed when your immersion's broken in games. There's a lot of people who for some reason get annoyed with it in Guild Wars. It's just like, sir, I don't know how to explain this to you, but we've got steampunk futuristic gnomes and fucking dragons here. I don't know what you expect from me. We have like 5 different like civilizations, all at different, completely different like engineering levels. I don't know what you expect from me. I'm gonna go be a pretty magical girl in the corner. They did also add a maid outfit recently, and I'm so happy they're finally making things gender neutral, which means my main character can wear a maid outfit and shoot unicorns with this fucking legendary bow. My other favorite thing to do is, I recently got a item that lets me just turn into a tree. So I'll just go turn into a tree in random spots. Hello, Annie. It's going good. It's going very good. I'll have to show you guys sometime. I've been cackling. I might actually, you know what? There is a new expansion coming out for Guild Wars in August. I might stream that. I am very excited about that. Because apparently there's wizards there, and y'all know how I get about wizards. The pre-order bonus is a fucking wizard hat. And I, might have, immediately pre-ordered because I've wanted a good wizard hat in Guild Wars for so long. The one wizard hat they've had so far, okay, they've had two, technically. One of them is just like the ugliest fucking thing ever, and it makes your character bald, and the other one is just like this weird hologram of a wizard hat, and I'm like, I just want a nice wizard hat. Like, just a solid wizard hat that doesn't make my character bald. Please and thank you. And they have finally delivered. I'm very excited. It sounds like they are implementing a bunch of things for flying mounts, because it's supposed to be like a floating island sort of setting. Floating sky islands, which delights me because I love that kind of setting. And it's so funny to see like all of these epic gamer bros get mad because they're reintroducing masteries for the two flying mounts, or at least one of the flying mounts, the sky scale, which is essentially a dragon mount that lets you permanently fly almost. And people are getting mad because right now you get the sky scale through Path of Fire, and it takes fucking forever, and like 300 gold minimum to get this mount. It's a huge grind. Like, I know for me it took me several weeks, actually it probably took me several months to get it. And if you, like, even if you grinded it, like, immediately as soon as it was available, I know it took at least, like, 2 or 3 weeks to get. So it's like this, it's a huge investment, huge grind, it's a huge status symbol of, like, hey, I put the effort in, you know? But they're making it easier to get, because I guess, I'm assuming this expansion is probably going to revolve around being able to fly. So they want to make sure, like, you know, everyone is able to get it, which makes sense. And it means if you have a sky scale already, you're ahead of the game. So to me, I'm just like, I don't give a shit. But all of them are raging like, how could you do this to me? This was a status symbol. And all this was like, bruh. It's just a game. It's funny every time. I'm excited though, because they have stated multiple times that anyone who's gotten the sky scales through the original masteries, or like gets them later, like if they get both mastery paths for them, they will get some really nice bonuses for sky scales. Which they're already broken mounts by default. There's a lot of things like jumping puzzles and just kind of traversing the map that sky scales make very redundant or just superficial. Which is really nice. Like, if you put in the work for it, it's really nice to be able to just be like, yeah, I'm just gonna hop on this and skip all that bullshit. Cause there are certain jumping puzzles that take 20 plus minutes in Guild Wars because pain. Did you finish the nose? Fuck, I forgot about that. I've been in a little bit of a crafting craze, and also I was very sleepy yesterday. I finished work, and then I like tried to play Terraria for a little bit, and then I was falling asleep at my computer, and I was like, oh, time to sleepy. And then this morning I woke up at 7 and I was like, ah! That was a mistake. That's okay, that's okay. I wanted to go to a bunch of places today. I wanted to go to the antique store, I wanted to go to Joann's, I wanted to try thrifting, because I haven't seen the thrifting places here, the thrift stores, and I got all that done. It was great. I went to I got my steps in. I went to all sorts of places. I didn't find much at the antique store. They had some Legos, which was the only interesting thing. So I did pick up a couple like little plastic baggies of that because they had like little plants and there was mushrooms in there, and I need mushrooms because of my eventual little magical forest I'll be making with Legos. But they didn't have much else, which was sad but understandable. Can't win them all, you know. And then I went to a thrift store because I was hoping to see if I could get some Monster High dolls so I could practice doing face-ups on those. I didn't find any, but I did find some Rainbow High dolls for dirt cheap, considering the condition they were in. I don't think the people there understood that they had a lot more value than they put on them. So I picked those up. I'm probably not going to do face-ups on all of them, but I will probably do a couple of them. Two of them just already have like really nice face-ups as the factory print that I like. I maybe if I get better at face-ups, maybe I'll do like my version of what they already have. But I like what they look like already. I am going to use them to practice doing doll clothes on, I think, though. Which brings me to the last thing I got, which was kind of my final birthday present to me. But also, I think my family might be contributing to this one. I have finally gotten a sewing machine. I'm kind of terrified to use it a little bit, but I'm practicing with it. I got some muslin, so I could fuck around and find out, which I've already been doing. Oh, it was so cute. So I put the sewing machine up and I got the bobbin part working, and then I was trying to get just a normal straight stitch to work, and I was having so many issues, and then I like kind of leaned down and looked under the head of the sewing machine, and I just see Mia like transfixed on the needle part of it, like just fully enamored. No. I'm not making voodoo dolls yet. I don't have a pattern for that. It would be cute to make one of a kinds of my friends. Daishima, do you volunteer yourself as tribute to become a doll? Hee-hoo! I'm just an innocent wizard. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, speaking of pens, oh my god, I found more of my, just normal straight pens, which I thought I had more. But I couldn't find them. I found them today, and, I've gone a little bit insane. The pincushion I have is now sorted rainbow. But it looks nice, you know? Sometimes the autism kicks in and you just gotta go, yeah, you know what? I do want my pins in rainbow order. Hey Daishima, have you seen doll customization videos? Quick question. Have you seen doll customization videos? It's not the pins you gotta worry about. It's really not. It's really not. It's like, if you don't understand, it's like a multimedia sculpting medium of creativity. Doll customization is real wild to get into, because you've got everything from like watercolor pencils and acrylics to chemical stabilizers that will fucking take you out for the rest of the day if you don't wear protective equipment. You've got epoxy sculpting, you've got 3D printing, you've got sewing, you've got so much stuff that you'll get into if you just try to do even just like one doll. It gets a little crazy. You got wig making. I made a tiny doll wig. I did hot glue it eventually to the doll itself, because I was having trouble staying in place, but it was fun. But here, I'll break down the process of the basic process of doll customization. First up, you get your doll. Typically, people like to thrift dolls. Some very popular ones are the Ever After series and the Monster High series, to customize because of the variation in their facial molds. Then you take some acetone, the stuff you use to clean off nail polish, and you wipe their face off. And then you stick the head and neck peg of the doll. Make sure to take off like all the clothes and whatnot. You take all that and you stick it in boiling water. It doesn't have to be boiling, it just has to be hot. But I had better results when I stuck it in boiling water. And then you pull the head off, and you hope you don't break the neck peg. And then, if you're keeping the hair, I guess you don't have to do that, but if you're changing the hair out, you gotta get some scissors, and you gotta cut off all the hair as close to the scalp as possible. And then the worst part about doll customization so far, other than the chemicals that took me out for a day and a half, is you gotta like take a screwdriver or like some sort of like angled, just something that you can use to like stick through the neck of the doll, and then just scrape out all the old glue and hair plugs in there, which is so gross. I cannot emphasize enough. When I had the like pile of it at the end of 2 older dolls, it looked like a fucking shadow creature that was about to eat me. It was awful. It was so gross looking. But it is satisfying to do. Yeah, you gotta dig all of that out, and then you can start plugging in whatever hair you want, or you can start prepping for a wig or whatever you plan to do. But if you're rerouting the doll's hair with some new hair, you get to take a needle, fashioned in a specific way to be called a rerouting tool, and then you stab the head about a bazillion times. And then you put glue back in through the neck hole. And then you slap that bad boy back on the doll's body, and then you can start really prepping for doing the doll customization. Because you kind of wrapped the doll up in like a burrito, to protect the doll's body and the hair. And you pin all that down to keep it in place, and then you spray it with the stuff called Mr. Super Clear. If you've never heard of Mr. Super Clear, that shit is rancid as fuck. You have to wear a vapor mask. Specifically a vapor mask, not just any sort of protective mask for like dust or anything. It has to be rated for vapors, because that shit is incredibly toxic before it cures. It's essentially like a sort of resin type of deal, which is why it's so toxic. If you don't do that, and if you're an idiot like me, you will immediately be hit with a migraine-level headache for the rest of the day and feel very vaguely ill for at least 2 or 3 more days. At minimum. At minimum. And before you say, oh, hey, chemicals don't really affect me that much typically. I usually don't get, like, lightheaded from, like, smells like gasoline. Neither do fucking I! But yeah, you did 2 layers of that. About 30 minutes of curing time for each of those, and then you break out the watercolor pencils, and you start laying down like your sketch colors and stuff like that. The initial 2 layers of this Mr. Super Clear stuff are to essentially get a base to be able to draw on, because otherwise you're drawing on vinyl, which just doesn't work. It acts as kind of like a primer. But every now and then, when your colored pencils or whatever you're using just stops adding like more color, you can spray it again with this stuff, let it cure, and then you can continue working. And you can do that for as many layers as you need. The doll I've worked on so far, I've only done a couple layers. I don't think I'm gonna do any more. I think I need a little bit more practice before I do that, but it was very fun. And then you kind of finish it all off by one more layer as like a seal layer. And then you can dress up your doll and you've got a doll. You can make clothes for them and all that jazz. Which is why I got a sewing machine, actually. I want to make doll clothes, I want to make wizard hats, I want to do all sorts of things. I never gave baby Ambrosia an outfit. I'm just gonna give them something random. I do recommend looking up doll customization videos, though, because they're really, really fun. If you're interested in sculpture or in art and multimedia projects like that, even if you're not interested in dolls themselves, it's a really interesting process because you have to use so many different skills to make a doll come together. It's like cosplay in a lot of ways. One of the people I watch is Delightful, who does a lot of very good explanations of what she's doing at any given time. I talk too much, my throat is dry. I took a drink, I took a sip, I'm fine. I do need to drink water, actually, that's a good point. They're gonna try to steal my blood again on Monday. Cause they still haven't been able to get fucking blood for a blood test for me. Every time, I've either been super busy or, like, just something's fucked up. Here's hoping. They think they know what's been fucky wucky with me, possibly, but they want to confirm it. I also have to sneeze. I went outside, so like all my seasonal allergies are now finally hitting me. I was surprised actually to note that Mr. Super Clear dries so quickly. I thought it took longer. You want it to air out, because it is so fucking rancid, so I usually leave it longer than 30 minutes, but even so, like, you can do at least a couple layers in a day. Yeah, I'm good. I've been running around all day. It's not lupus. It's not fucking lupus. So, like, I've been outside in the heat a little bit and stuff, and I had to haul the sewing machine home, it was lighter than I was expecting, but still, pretty hefty. No, the thing that they think I have, might require, like, some diet changes. I'm already working on my exercise. I'm still going for- Listen, I tried, okay? I tried, but Rule 20 hates me. You know Rule 20 hates me. I do my best. What was I saying? Oh, the thing that, they think I might have, it should really affect me too much. Oh, like I said, I'm already working on exercising more, and it might be a change in diet, but otherwise, it mostly just means I'm at higher risk for a few things. And the other main thing that usually affects people, because of my personal choices, it doesn't affect me at all, actually. Which is so funny. Like, obviously, like, I have kind of a fear of the unknown. I don't like not knowing what's going on. So obviously I Google my symptoms, but I take everything I read with a grain of salt, obviously, because I'm not a doctor. They are. I just want to be more prepared of, like, what are the possibilities? Like, what are the worst case scenarios that could be happening at the moment? And that's really what I look for, is to understand, like, what should I expect from my doctor of what to hear. So I knew this was already a possibility, and I read it and I was like, huh. This seems about right, but also, like, it'd be so funny if this was what was happening, because it's not that big a deal for me. And, like, my doctor was saying, like, I think this is what it is. I was like, oh, okay. And she's just like, you good? I'm like, oh, that's fine. I tend to be like that, though, like, I very much this is fine my way through medical things. 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, and 10k run every single day. Fuck off, absolutely not. I will not tell you what my, my current level of exercise is, because it disappoints everyone, especially me, but I'm working on it. I'm getting there. I'm doing better. I kind of got my steps in today just by, I walked all the way around the antique hall that I went to, and, obviously, like, Joann's and whatnot, it's pretty big, so I got a lot in today, but I'm working on, I don't know what the fuck it's called. It's one of those big machines that you, like, it has the two paddles for you to step on, and the two arms, like, handle things, and as you walk on the paddles, it moves the arms as well, like, it forces you to move your arms. That's what I have at home now. That shit is painful. Like, oh my god. That works you to the bone. But it's great. It works out really well, because there's, like, a little stand on it that I can put my phone on, so, like, I can just put a YouTube video on, and then just not even think about the fact that I'm exercising. And I don't have to worry about bugs or it being too hot. It's great. Daishima, people joke all the time when they see me in real life that I'm a vampire, because I'm so pale, and I hate going out in the sun, and I hate talking to people. Honestly, though, the only thing it would change would be like, oh fuck, now I have to get blood, don't I? That's nice. I at least don't sunburn super easily. Like, I do burn easily because obviously I'm white, but I don't, like, burn instantly when I'm in the sun. People expect me to, but also I'm good about putting sunscreen on. Nice. Yeah, my skin, like, if I walk out into the sun, it's just like, the light, it burns! But I'm not actually burning. It's just because I stay inside all the time. I hide in my craft room. I'm slowly coming to the realization that I have like a fucking dragon's hoard of craft supplies at this point. I've hung on to supplies I've had since I was like a young child. Because it's just like, look, it might be shitty, like, wholesale kids paint that they don't actually expect to work well, it just has a pigment in it. But maybe I'll find a use for it, you know? I might actually throw some of that stuff out. I have some... Oh my god, I need to talk about this, actually. Okay, if you know me, like, if you followed any bit of my crafting journey, over time, you will know that watercolors are the bane of my fucking existence. I hate watercolors. They hate me. And we all have a very bad time together whenever I am forced to use watercolors. Watercolor pencils are fine, those are pencils. But as soon as water's involved, everything just goes to shit. The one exception to this was when I was in, I think it was freshman year of high school. My teacher let me borrow this pen that you can put water in, and when you squeeze it, it moistens the bristles of the brush, and then you can use that to paint with. It's a very neat trick. However, I have finally discovered the problem that I've had with watercolors and why it's been a nightmare to use them. And it's all just fucking quality. And it pisses me off so much. Like, it really is just getting the right tools for the job. Because, like, shitty watercolors can work. And somebody who knows how to use watercolors can probably get them to work. But I'm not a painter. Even when I'm using acrylic or anything like that, I don't come with a painter's mindset into a project that I use it for. I just can't. It's not the way I think. The way I think and the way I plan out art really aligns with how using inks is. Whether that's lighting inks or stuff like markers, that's where my brain kind of like functions the best. I can do that, I can do colored pencils and stuff like that too, and digital art. But paint just eludes me in a lot of ways. But the watercolor pencils I just got and the pan watercolors I just got the pan ones came with those brushes that you can put water in, and that first off immediately did wonders. But also I've been practicing acrylics with tiny brushes and learning how to use acrylics with mixing them with a little bit of water and stuff like that, and I'm finally like getting the fundamentals of how paint actually works. And it's so frustrating because these are things that like they totally could have taught us when we're doing art in school, but they don't teach you any techniques. They just hand you paint and say, go fuck around. And it's just like, I don't want to fuck around. I want to know what I'm supposed to do with these. Oh, I actually also have soft pastels. That's a thing that you use for like blushing and stuff, and makeup for dolls. I wanna try out actually using them for an art piece as well. I do know you have to have a fixative after you finish to ensure that the piece stays stable afterwards. Otherwise, it's just gonna get everywhere. Because it's literally like dust. it's chalk dust essentially. But they're kind of like, they're very bulky, aren't they? Like, they seem like really bulky colored pencils, to a degree, is what they kind of feel like to use. Something I saw people did and I tried out and it worked out pretty well for me was, I used an X-Acto knife to scrape off, like, a little bit of one of the pastel sticks, and then I dipped a brush in there to do blushing on the dolls that I'm working on. And that worked really well, so I don't know if that'll help you out at all. I also got like a couple makeup brushes to do that with dolls to see if that helps in any way, and that seemed to also work really well. I guess it really depends on what you had a problem with. I just feel like I've come to the realization that akin to my dragon sword of supplies that I've collected over the years, I'm kind of very much a jack of all trades when it comes to art. I like to dabble in just about everything. I've dabbled in a lot of things already, actually, and I came to the realization this past week that, like, I think I enjoy that more than trying to pick one thing and master it. I feel like even digital art, which I feel is like the one thing that I worked on the most over time, even that, it's kind of one of those things where it's just like, I don't feel like I've mastered this. And I'm okay with that. Admitting to all my war crimes. Thanks, Daishiba. Have a good night. But, like, I like messing around. I like trying new things. I like learning new things. I like seeing what I can make with weird mixtures of things. And yeah. I'd love to hear about your experience more with soft pastels if you got anything more to add, Philip. They're kind of funky. Oh my god, speaking of soft pastels, oh my god. So, like, I don't get, like, the, like, super professional, ultra grade things. The one exception to that is my markers. I do have Copics, which are known to be an expensive brand. But that's, like, a collection I built up over years, and it's because those actually work very, very well. They work exactly, like, the color spectrum and what is what I need. And I do use them, but, I'm not very familiar with other art supplies, and there's, like, this place in the area that's, like, perfect for, like, professional artists getting supplies, and I was like, I'm gonna check them out, because I don't know what the difference is between these guys and, like, Michael's or Joanne's, and the selection of stuff they have there. And I went in there, and they had, like, not brands, just different kinds of acrylic paint, and I'm just like, there's different kinds of acrylic paint? What? I thought there was just, like, opaque and semi-translucent, but no, there's soft body, there's heavy body, there was, like, 5 different types of gouache. I'm just like, I only just learned that gouache was a thing. You can't do this to me. And I only just learned that, like, there's different types of watercolor. Like, there's pan watercolor, and there's the little tube watercolor, and all that stuff. And you're telling me there's more? There's more differences? What on earth are you doing to me? But anyways, I got too overwhelmed with the paint section, so I waddled all over to the just, like, dry mediums, like soft pastels and stuff like that. And of course they have, like, 5 billion brands of that there. I'm just like, oh, like, Jesus Christ, I don't know what to pick. I just need, like, a general, like, variation that's more of the shitty little 12 color one I got, because that wasn't enough variation, didn't have the right ones. And, like, I looked to my right, and there was one that was, like $25, and it had, like, 40 in there. And I was like, okay, that's pretty decent. And then I turned to the left a little bit, and I just saw the price tag of, like, over $1,000 for the same amount. I was just like, excuse me? What? For soft pastels? What the fuck are they made out of? You can't sell me on that amount of money, on the amount of money to spend on the number of colors you would have gotten was just stupidly ridiculous. I was just like, what the fuck? Like, it wasn't even like the big chunky ones. It was normal sized ones, to my understanding. I was terrified to touch it. I was just like, I need to get out of this aisle, like, right now. I am afraid. I'm fucking terrified. They did have a lot of cool things there, though. something similar happened with the watercolor pencils, but it was just like, to me, like, okay, yeah, paints are like always like stupid expensive when you get the nice shit, especially like oil paints. Like they had like tiny little bottles of paint that were like $20, and I'm just like, why? What are you putting like fucking gold and diamond dust in there? Hello? For a single color? Look, I can understand like $10 for some nice paints per bottle, but it's just, oh my god. The like fine art world terrifies me. I'll go back to my shitty like Michael's like fucking folk art $3 a bottle shitty paints. I can do wonders with those. I can paint pretty clouds and lovely little forests, and that's all I need to do. That's all. That's it. I'm good. I don't know what they're on, but I don't need it. Is it that the paint has like drugs in it that makes it you like better at art? Is that why they're so expensive? I don't understand. What can you do to paint to make it worth more like that? Because I can kind of, they had like little cards like explanation of like what soft body acrylics were and heavy body ones were. So I was like, okay, I can get behind that. I can understand that heavy body would be like more pigmented, so that would be more expensive. That makes sense. And I can understand in general like more pigmented paints being more expensive, because that's the expensive part of it. But not that expensive. I don't understand. What makes a paint good? Like, good enough to cost that much? I know there's, like, different, like, mediums you can mix paint in. I know pigmentation is a very important factor as well, but I don't understand, like, why. It's just so strange. I'm gonna go back to markers, I think. I know why Copics are expensive. I'll go back to those. I'm good now. It is fun to learn about these things and why they work the way they do, though. So I'll probably look into it more now that I have learned this is a thing. But yeah, it was quite the experience of going in there and witnessing the shit people will spend on art supplies like that. I'm just... Honestly, I still can't get over, like... It's not even like a tool, like a reusable tool that's going to last you a long time. I mean, I guess, I don't know how long soft pastels tend to last, but just the price tag on something that you will use up like that being so high is what gets me. That's what I really don't understand. And I understand there's, like, a ton of different colors in there and whatnot, and you can replace them individually, but still! You could probably get, like, all 700 or however fucking many Copics there are for the same price. And I don't think that was every color they had of that particular brand. Honestly, I looked away so fast after I saw the price tag, I was like, oh, I gotta get out of here. I'm in the wrong aisle. Because, like, expensive doesn't necessarily mean better. Especially with art supplies. Oh, you wanna know what really boils my blood? Okay, so, like, as I said, watercolors are my nemesis when it comes to art mediums. Although it is one I'm trying to overcome. But it's always made me like really enamored with watercolor art because it is something that's so difficult in my eyes that every time I see someone who's a very talented artist with watercolor, it delights me. I love looking at it. I love trying to dig down and understand how they put it together, even if I can't do those techniques myself. And I have this visceral memory of when I was in high school. I was helping man our high school, like, there was an art festival happening, and we got a tent during this art festival, and some of my stuff was hanging up there, so I was helping man for the day. And when I was walking around, there was this guy with this, like, just very beautiful, like, watercolor animals and stuff like that, as prints, and I was like, oh, hell yeah, I'll get one of these. And I was just like, hey, dude, I struggle with watercolors. I noticed that your pigmentation or whatever is, like, really good here. Like, what is it that you do that makes it so solid? Like, stupid question maybe for someone who's good at watercolor, but not so stupid question to someone who's trying to understand, and it was a legitimate question. He's just like, expensive paint. I'm like, great, cool, fuck you then. Like, come on, dude. You can at least be like, oh, I dry brush instead of doing wet on wet or whatever. Because guess what? I have fucking nice paints now. And guess fucking what? The black still isn't black. It's not black enough. It's not dark. It's just a dark gray. Because you mix it with water. Like, that's literally how watercolors work. I wonder if he just used something like fucking India ink instead. Or maybe he did have, like, stupid expensive watercolors that actually held onto their pigment very well, even when wet like that. But who fucking knows? He wouldn't say. And what, I don't know if it was just, like, a being stingy about art techniques thing, or if he was just an asshole in general. Because I kind of got vibes of the latter more than the former. Maybe it's just because, like, in the online age that I'm used to, like, people share techniques and, like, brushes and stuff like that all the fucking time. Who fucking cares? We all have our own unique style. It was just wild to me, like, to get that sort of reaction from him, like, hello, I'm asking about technique, not supplies. It's okay. I will learn how to draw dark colors. Because I may be doing the cutesy pastel-y watercolor sort of thing, but my aesthetic is still goth as fuck. Ignore my background, I'm goth, I swear. I say with the very fantasy magical girl theming of my entire stream. Oh my god, speaking though of gothiness, the Halloween fabrics are in stock now. And when I went to Joann's, I had to restrain myself from picking up literally everything, but I did get a few, and as soon as I figure out how the fuck to use the sewing machine, the first thing I'm gonna do is make a cool wizard hat for Halloween. They had, like, the perfect, like, moon and stars, like, stereotypical wizard fabric, and I was so excited, oh my god. I have some fabric cut already to work on, so as soon as I, like, feel confident that I'm not gonna fuck it all up, I think I'm gonna use that first. Before doing anything extra. I also finally got some, like, full-size felt instead of trying to use kids' craft felt. That's a story for another time, though, I think. I made some unique choices on my first attempt for a wizard hat for myself. And they did not all go to plan. They were a solid idea, but they did not go to plan. Excuse me. Oh my gosh. That's fine though. A lot of art is just fucking around and finding out. Seeing what you can do seeing how you mess up, seeing what you need to learn. And I'm okay with that. I think that's one of the things I enjoy the most about it. I feel like I can enjoy it more now that I feel like it's not the end of the world if I make a mistake. I can get more fabric, I can get more paper, I can get more thread, whatever else I need. I feel like before, when I was younger, like, I only got what I could get. So if I made a mistake, if I fucked it up, then, like, well, then the world is ending, sort of thing. So it made me more hesitant to try new things, but I still wanted to try things, and I did where I could. And my mother actually introduced me to a lot of different art mediums. She's very artsy as well. Like, let's see. I've done jewelry beading, that's very fun, but very expensive to get into. I've done clay, not polymer clay, but like put in a kiln and fire it clay. Very sad to say that my first piece that I did with kiln fired clay, it may have done a little explodey in the kiln, as you do, but it happens to the best of us. I have tried little things with polymer clay, but it just doesn't move the way I expect it to. I think my brain is still keyed into to kiln fired clay. Because it has a whole different texture and whatnot. What else have I done? I have sewn before, I've started doing it recently. When I was younger, I was taught how to use a sewing machine and whatnot. And it like, I had a very visceral, like, experience of, like, remembering all the different little things about sewing today, cause the lady who was helping me figure out sewing machines, was running through, like, how to thread one, how to thread a bobbin, and whatnot, and I was just like, oh, I remember this, yeah, I remember that, I remember all these things. That was pretty neat. I've done lino prints. That was interesting. That was something I did in high school, where you scratch on an acrylic plate, like a piece of plastic essentially, that's clear. You scratch on that to make essentially a stamp, and then you wipe ink on it, and then you run it through this like presser thing, and it will press the design onto the paper. And it's very, very cool. It's time consuming, and it makes the worst fucking noise in the world, like nails on a chalkboard noise. But it's very cool for, like, making prints like that. What else? Acrylic paint, obviously. Watercolors, to my dismay. I've not tried oils yet, but that is on the list of things I would like to try eventually. I just don't know enough about them. There's kind of like this, like, craft room thing in my area that I'm thinking about trying and seeing if they have oil paints there, or if at the very least, like, they could give me some info on oil paints, because I literally know nothing about oils other than, like, you need completely different supplies to acrylic and watercolors. Gouache is also on the list of ones I want to try and haven't tried yet. It looks like a halfway point between watercolors and acrylics, and I'm here for that. Haven't done too much with pastels yet. I've tried oil pastels, didn't enjoy them. They felt like just giant expensive crayons. Didn't like that. Prismacolor pencils, colored pencils. Those are super, super nice to work with. I do enjoy those. Watercolor pencils are much kinder to me than normal watercolors. But not something I mess with too much. One of the things I really love doing is, like, getting a shitty ballpoint pen, the kind that, like, the ink doesn't, like, run properly, because you can use that to shade. Doing art with that is very fun, and I did this style of art where I used that and then a white gel pen on top to get a really cool lighting effect in black and white with that. I actually loved using like office supplies in general to draw, like highlighters and pens like that and stuff like that. I used to draw on practically every scrap of paper I could find. There was never enough pencils or pens or paper for me. What else? What else? I'm forgetting things. Tie-dye. Tie-dye is definitely one. That's something a lot of people try. Not really my thing. I do want to try dyeing fabric and dyeing doll hair at some point. That looks very fun. But I don't know what I'm gonna try it with. Just yet. I might also try dyeing yarn wefts for doll hair. Cause that seems like it might be a little bit easier for me. But we'll see. We'll see. I think I've done paper mache. Paper mache is a lot of fun. Incredibly messy. But very fun. I'm trying to think back. Oh, paper twirling or tweening. I don't remember what it's called. Essentially, you take very thin strips of paper and you spin them with a tool, and then you glue them down in like different shapes and stuff. It's very cool to see. It's a very interesting way to use paper strips. I didn't do that very much because we might have ran out of the paper strips very quickly. But I'm not the only culprit to that. It was very fun. I've actually got the tools for that already. I might try that sometime if I can think of a fun design to do that with. I've technically quilted, but it was more of like I watched my mother quilt a tiny doll-sized quilt for one of my dolls. Instead of getting to do it myself, I picked the fabrics. I might try to do a small quilt like that at some point, but I'm not brave enough just yet. Quilts are like terrifying to get into. I don't think I've ever sewn a plushie of any kind. Oh, that would be a fun thing to try, especially now that I have a sewing machine. I have not tried making garments for a person, although I have worn garments that were hand-sewn. That is definitely something I plan to try, not just making wizard hats and doll clothes. Origami, that's a very basic one. I love doing stuff with origami, or just like messing around with paper in that sort of fashion. I'm not super into scrapbooking, but like I want to make an OC, a character scrapbook for my characters, which I have started that with Ambrosia, but I need to get like I need to commission more people for art so I can just fill up a book with art of my characters that people have drawn. What else? I'm doing a stretch. I want to get into felting too. That's something I want to try. I'm also recently started trying embroidery. Very, very time consuming, but very interesting at the same time. Mixed media sculpture is not something I've really done much with, but it's an interesting idea. I think kind of doll customization falls into that in a way, but doll customization is like a more specific version of that. I have made earrings before, bracelets, haven't made a ring. If I ever get a chance to do like smithing, as like a day project or something like that, holy shit, I would jump on that instantly because oh, that's so cool. One of my friends in college actually I think he said he was a silversmith. He made jewelry as like one of his jobs, and I was just like, that's the coolest fucking thing ever. He also complained a lot that silver should be more expensive than gold because it's harder to work with, which I thought was very funny. That man had a vendetta. Which makes sense. Gold is very, very soft, so it would probably be a lot easier to work with. But that's not the only thing that goes into the value of metals. Writing is a thing that I've tried. I've been talking about physical media type of things. I should not be allowed to attempt to make music. You can let me play drums, for something, or like any other like percussion instrument where you just have to hit it in time. Do not allow me to make anything else with music. I have tried. I think I'm the only person that enjoys it. Wait, do I have that somewhere? Oh my god. If I do, I'm gonna torture all of your ears. Oh, do I have it? Do I have that monstrosity of an MP3? Wait, is it on my iPad? Because I made it on here. Do I even have Apple Music on here still? I don't think I do. I think I deleted it. I was like, I should not be allowed to use this. Ever. Don't ask why things are misspelled on here, by the way. I just type it and it works if it works. Are they in here? Oh, GarageBand for iOS? I still have it! Hold on a second. I'm just gonna go ahead and hide everything for just a second. I don't remember how loud it is. It's not an MP3! Oh wait, oh, I think I got it to... I kind of regret not having, not having my model today. I jumped real hard. I forgot how much noise it is. Wait, hold on, let me check. Ooh, does it play their desktop audio? Oh my god, it does. You guys can't hear it right now because I am muted. Desktop audio goes from -60 all the way to max on OBS the moment I hit play. I'm gonna have to turn this down so much. Okay, how bad is it now? Okay. I wasn't expecting it to play in my headphones either, but it's cool that it does. I apologize for what you're about to hear. I don't know how quiet it's gonna be. Maybe about there, hopefully. I'm so sorry. And that's why you should not let me try to make music. You can put me on drums. I'm good at that. We're gonna put that away in a lockbox where it belongs forever. I was banned from making more MP3s for the group chat after I made that. I should put it in like one of my personal servers for sending files to myself, for the Discord soundboard, and just at some point scare the living fucking daylights out of somebody with it. Turned down a lot though at the very least, cause holy fucking shit, it is loud. I don't know what was running through my brain when I made it, but I think my brain was just like, can we make the feeling of sensory overload into a sound that anyone can comprehend? And my brain said yes. I forgot to turn back on the display. Hold on a second. There you go. And my brain said yes, we can do that. We can inflict that horror onto anyone we want. And it created that. I don't think it's searchable anywhere. I think I uploaded it privately to YouTube so I could share it, but I didn't make it public. And it might be deleted at this point, because I cleaned up a lot of my YouTube when I started VTubing stuff. I'm also not allowed to sing. I can't sing, and I'm okay with that. My voice is for singing songs in the shower and when no one's listening except for myself, and that is fine. And the no song, when everything goes wrong. Ooh, you know something I haven't tried yet? Glasswork. That sounds like fun. I mean, anything with fire sounds like fun, actually. Oh, I haven't tried soap making either. That's on the list. I have tried candle making specifically. So, like, when I was really young, we got, like, a bunch of, like, shitty old crayons that we couldn't really draw with anymore, and we melted them down into candles. That was a lot of fun, because it was like the like super layered type of rainbow candles. Very, very fun. Also, getting to light things on fire is fun. I want to try more baking stuff as well. I don't want to go anything fancy with baking, because I like making things that are delicious. They don't have to look pretty. I just like them to be tasty. Oh, woodcutting's another one that I want to do as well. I'm a little nervous about it, because knife sharp, knife scary, but it seems like a lot of fun. It seems very relaxing once you know how to do it. There's just so many things you can do with art. I'm not interested in knitting. I might try to do crocheting again, but no, I'm not sure I'm crocheting. I think I like sewing better. The small amount of crocheting I've done, I didn't really enjoy that much. But I guess it depends. And maybe if I have a better teacher. Because the person who was teaching me did not do a very good job. Sorry, Grandma. I know you tried, but you did very bad. I hesitate to put animation on the list of things I'd like to try, partially because animation is hell, and I don't know when I'm ever gonna get there, but you know, I do want to try everything. What else out there is there to try? There's gotta be more things. Oh, there's that, like, painting on water thing? That looks fucking amazing. That looks so cool. I feel like that would be a lot of fun to do. I want to try spray paint art at some point. Not anytime soon, I don't think. That's not high up on the list. But I have seen like a lot of people do like speed paint, spray paint art with like different stencils and stuff to do cool space things, and it's just like, oh, that's so cool. That's so cool. But that's like a lot of different techniques that I would have to learn to do that I don't really have anything like connected to it already. There's like a common thread with all the things I've learned so far, where it's just like one technique from this thing kind of rolls over into this other thing, and it makes it easier for me to learn how to do that. And those threads don't always make sense. Sanded bottle art is very fun! I remember doing that! I need to do that again. Oh my god, I loved that so much! And there was like, so after, obviously like you run out of sand and you run out of bottles to put stuff in. But I know like at one point when like iPads and like iPhones and stuff and like, oh, what's it called? iPod. I had an iPod and I got like lots of different game apps on there. There was like essentially a game equivalent of sand and bottle art. I fucking loved playing around with that. Oh my gosh. It was a literal sandbox. It was so fun. Obviously, I very much enjoy resin and UV resin. Epoxy and UV resin, I mean. But it's very time consuming, so like, when I go to do it, I have to like have the full plan ahead of time. And I just haven't had anything that I've wanted to do, like... I got caught up in doll stuff. I'll admit it. I'm in the doll zone right now. I'll go back to the resin zone eventually. It might be a hot minute. Oh my god, I miss the old internet. It was so fun. Pop Tropica and Webkins and Neopets and little games like that and all the little dress-up games. And freaking Disney Fairies! Can't believe they deleted that. Still mad about it. Although apparently there's some people like remaking a version of it somehow, some way. When I tried it though, it wouldn't work for me, which made me sad. But hopefully one day they'll get it working and stable, and I will get to play Disney Fairies once again. My brain ran out of words. I'm a little tired from all the running around I did today. But it was worth it. I had a lot of fun. Never been to a Disney park. Me neither! I actually don't like Disney all that much, but I love the Disney Fairies franchise. That's the only acceptable franchise for Disney. Oh, good lord. My friends, like, were planning a Disney thing at one point, but, at the time I didn't have the ability to jump in on that. Because I think they were planning to go to the Florida one, and we were way off. So there's the one in Florida and the one in California, right? For the US? I don't know, man. I thought there was one Disney park, and then I was told there was 2 Disney parks, and I was like, wait, what? And then they're like, oh yeah, there's also the international ones. I'm like, wait, what? That's too many! I also thought there was only one Six Flags, and then I learned there's like a bazillion of them, and I was like, wait, what? Also, oh my god, learning about the fucking fucked up, fast pass system for Disney parks, I was like, I just want to go on rides. Excuse me. I just want to go on rides and have a good time. What the fuck? I'm not sitting and planning my entire vacation around 7 to 8 months in advance just to have a good time. What the fuck is wrong with people setting the system up? Not the people who enjoy doing that sort of thing. I can see how that would be an enjoyable experience to plan it all in advance. But man, that system's real fucked up, huh? Yeah, there's so many! There's too many of them. There's a lot of them. I didn't even know there was more than the Florida and the California one until recently. I was like, wait, what? I just want to go to, like, okay, up in Minnesota, there's the Mall of America, and in Mall of America, there's like the fancy like official Lego store there. That place is cool. I just want to go to places like that, like the Lego museums and stuff like that. That's so many fucking parks. What the hell? I remember when I was younger, I used to be very jealous of people who got to go to the parks, even just once. And nowadays, I'm just like, you know what? Meh. I think that's because, though, very unfortunately, roller coasters are a little painful now, which really sucks. I hope there's something I can do about it eventually, but it's a little out of control, out of my control type of thing. But that's okay. I don't like being around people anyways, so I would have to, like, plan so much to have a vacation at any sort of crowded place, like a theme park like those. I will say that even though I don't like Frozen and whatnot, the Frozen on Ice shows they have at Disney parks, those look very beautiful, and they are allowed one pretty thing. The Encanto one was really, really pretty too. I saw a video of that. I might end early today because I would like to do a little bit more messing around with the sewing machine. But no promises. I don't know how I'm gonna be feeling on Monday, but I do have the day off. I do have Monday and Tuesday off. It's my birthday, and I might do a stream to hang out. Might, depending on how I'm feeling. These are my plans to do one on Monday, but I don't fucking know. My family's plans for birthday are later in the week, so shouldn't have anything that interferes necessarily. But we will see. I've only been to one. I've only been to Six Flags, and it was the same Six Flags, and it was just a couple of times. Although I've technically been to, like, water parks and stuff that also had roller coasters. I don't know if that counts. Six Flags was very fun. It wasn't an amusement park, but I went on a field trip to a space museum, and they had a few roller coasters there for, like, teaching about G-forces. Those were very fun. It's interesting. I have a kind of mild fear of heights, but things like roller coasters and anything that I'm secured into tightly doesn't faze me. As long as as long as I know, like, I feel like I'm safe, safely secured, my fear of heights doesn't bother me. But anything that doesn't feel safe enough, then it just spikes immensely. I'm not sure with water parks. With water parks, I've been to a few. In Wisconsin, they have, like, the home of water parks or whatever there. And there's, like, it's literally just, like, a small town that's just water parks all over the place. It's literally a tourist town for them. And we went to a bunch there. We went there a couple of times, I think, when we lived in Wisconsin. It was pretty neat. And there was one in Missouri we went to a few times. They didn't really have any, like, roller coaster type things. They had a few, like, cool slides and whatnot. What I remember the most is the wave pool and the lazy river, which both of those were very nice. Those were fun. Oh, and not a lazy river, like a man-made one. I have gone tubing on like a slow river like that before too. That was a lot of fun. I think we saw snakes though. I think we freaked out when we saw snakes. They didn't come close to us or anything. Everything was fine, but they startled us. We've got a little cleanup to do here. Things are still a little rough with this animatic because I know the idea of all the frames, but I don't know. I haven't picked the style for this. It's probably going to be closer to the style of my villain's animatic. I'm definitely going to go lean more into full color, but I think I'm going to go a very paletted full color when it comes to like backgrounds and stuff, but we'll see. We'll see how this goes. I would like to keep the sort of pink and purple and magenta theming of Ambrosia throughout it more, because I feel like that's very important. Because when I break out of that, well, that's when things get interesting. Why is your head so big? Why your head big? Head big. Don't be big. Be right size. I've got some very good plans for this animatic. I'm hoping I can pull them all off. I don't want to spoil them ahead of time. But as much as I enjoy working on a Pro's trial, I feel like I took a step backwards in a few areas with that animatic, and I want to take a step forwards again. I don't think I took a step backwards in a bad way. I feel like it fit that specific video to do the things that I did in that way. There was no getting around a few of it, a few things in there, just because of the scope of the story that was being told there that most people won't get because D&D. But I really like what I did with villains. Well, with Villain. It's still my favorite animatic. And I want to do that again. I want to encapsulate the kind of feeling I managed to do in Villain, and I want to do it better. And I think I will do that again, but we will see. The sketches have promise. The idea in my brain has promise, but we won't know until we know. I think for now, even just getting these lines, these were some more difficult lines, these poses. Even just getting those was nice. I need to get food. My brain is telling me, more food and a little bit more water. I started this stream with like a lot of energy and then it just immediately started dwindling. I'm like, oh no! I wanted to stream, I forgot to stream yesterday. Oh goodness. I'm trying to get back on track with the schedule. Having Air Server working again is going to help me get back on track with the stream schedule. I swear it will. Because that was one of the things where it's just like, I want to stream art today, but I don't want to use the crappy other thing that I got temporarily so I could stream art. But having my beloved Air Server back has made me so happy, so more art streams for sure. And more craft streams probably. Cause I really enjoyed sewing on stream last time, and I would like to do that more. Probably only hand sewing. Maybe I could finagle it to get a good angle on my sewing machine. But it would probably be a little bit of a mess to do that. We'll have to see. Doll making isn't something I can really stream because of the long cure periods between spraying and whatnot. So that's a no-go. But that's okay. We have other things we can do. But yeah, thank you for joining. I hope you had a good time, Philip. I'm gonna go get some food, because I'm hungry. And then I'm going to mess with the sewing machine more and see if I can get it to do a good thing and not break the thread again, as I have done like 20 times so far today. It's more like 40 times today. I had some problems when I was setting it up. Stream design process? Design process of what? You've got character design, you've got place design. Place design would be kind of a headache with the way I do it because it's not very coherent. Same for animatic design. I've thought of doing an animatic sketch on stream before. I even planned actually to do the sketch for this. But it's kind of a headache, like, to think of the process. I don't really design them ahead of time because I'm actually basing the ones that I'm working on off of characters that are already designed. Because I've got, like, a bazillion characters already that I just want to make dolls of. So I'm not doing any design elements ahead of time. I could probably stream making the doll clothes if I'm doing a lot of hand sewing on any particular one. But yeah, I'll probably be able to finagle getting the sewing machine set up for a stream. With the way I have it set up now, I'm trying to set up my craft area so I can swap things, like swap tools in and out that are bulky, in a helpful way. So hopefully I'll have it set up to where I can do that on stream. It seems like it has promise, but I don't know for sure. But we'll see. I have this animatic I want to work on though. I have this one. I have like a bazillion more. I've got Terraria. I might do Skyblock Terraria. I feel like you guys would enjoy watching me play Terraria because it's a treat when I do. I have a bunch of other games as well to play on stream, but I do want to do more art. I miss doing more art on stream. But yes, it is. My brain craves pizza so much right now. I need to eat some pizza. I need to go get my leftovers and do a chow. But yes, thank you. I appreciate the suggestions though. I will see what I can do. Because there will absolutely be at least 1 or 2 dolls that I want to make that are not one of my current characters, and I'll have to do character design for. I have streamed character design on stream before, and that was a lot of fun. So I will definitely bring that more into the future as well. I have one character I need to design right now, but I think I want to do that off stream just because it's not a style that I've done before, like a clothing sort of style. And the hair will be a nightmare to do, but there's definitely a ton of other characters where it's just like, yeah, I need to sit down and make designs for them, so we can totally do that on stream. But yes, okay, I'm stalling. Good night. have a good sleep, good morning, good day, whatever time it might be, and I will hopefully see you on Monday.